Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. How is everyone today? What's going on, everyone? Welcome. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. I'm here and ready. I am ready. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready today for lag. That's what I'm ready for. Lag. That's really what I'm preparing for here. Even though, honestly, I've been looking forward to today for a while. I've been actually really enjoying the Call of Duty streams that we've been doing lately for multiple different reasons. First of all, because you guys know that I really like this Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War more than, I'd say the last one I liked as much was Call of Duty World War II. Although, again, that was another game where I liked the gameplay mechanics, but the connections were laggy and held the game back, I felt. But this is probably the most I've played a Call of Duty in many different years. Usually I only play it for a little bit, then I get frustrated and I drop it. But this one in particular I've really liked so much that I just keep playing it at least, twice a week. Even playing it as a major session like I'm doing today, right? But also because I've been playing it so much, basically we have been doing various different things. For example, trying out new weapons, trying new challenges, and with these new predictions on the channel, where you guys can wager your channel points or penne points based on a prediction of what will happen in a match, it's actually added a whole new element of entertainment and interaction to these kind of streams, okay? In particular, can I get a certain amount of kills each game? Can I get a positive kill-death ratio? Or will our team win? Can I get a certain amount of knife kills? Can I get 3 knife kills in a row? Etc. These are all different predictions that you guys have really enjoyed wagering your otherwise relatively valueless channel points on. And it's been a great time. It really has been. I've been enjoying these streams more and more, honestly, to the point where now I'm actually actively looking forward to streaming Call of Duty every time I do it. Even though, admittedly, with the lag, it's not necessarily the most fair gameplay. It's actually just silly fun to play this game at this point. So, I've been enjoying it. You guys have been enjoying it. It works out, right? So, I'm excited for today, despite the fact that today is Saturday, the 27th of February, 2021. And today is a free-to-play weekend in Call of Duty. Oh, no. So what that means is that, in all of their wisdom, Activision/Treyarch has decided to let people who don't own the game play the game. And that means monstrous amounts of lag, because you're going to have way more people on the servers playing the game today than normally would. So when you have a giant increase in the amount of people playing the game, that also means the server capacity is slammed, and performance is worse. Also keep in mind, these are people who probably aren't used to playing multiplayer games regularly, so their connections aren't even up to snuff as it is, which again bogs down the system. Okay? So I'm expecting tons of lag today. Tons. But at the same time, when you get these free-to-play weekends, it means there's a ginormous amount of newbies who are playing the game for the first time, don't know what the hell's going on, and maybe I'll have opportunity to take advantage of that and go pretty crazy here today, depending on how things go, okay? So, what are the goals for today? No, the goals is not for me to put on a pair of jeans. I don't know why you guys are saying that. I put on a pair of jeans when I go out every week. I don't need to put them on when I'm streaming games. But anyway, I guess it's a new meme. A new stupid troll meme is jeans. Of all the memes to come out, jeans is the new one, apparently. Figured that one out. So anyway, no, goal number 1, and I'm hoping that we can get through this goal relatively quickly. Unlock the sledgehammer, alright? How do you do it? You need to get 15 multi-kills with the knife, meaning get a kill with the knife and immediately get another kill to rank as a double kill with the knife, and you need to do this 15 times. I've done it 14 times, all right? When I really focus in on doing it, typically I can get at least one done within like a half an hour. So, this being said, I'm hoping we can relatively get this done quickly today. In fact, I might even have my first couple of channel predictions based on me being able to get the sledgehammer, okay? So, let's see how that goes. Hopefully I get it right away. Then, once I get the Sledgehammer, what I would like to do is use the Sledgehammer to try to get various silly kill streaks. The Sledgehammer apparently is a little bit slower than the knife, but has more reach. And if you guys haven't noticed, a lot of the times the issue I have with the knife is it doesn't reach far enough. I'm right in front of the guy and I swing and I just narrowly miss. But if the Sledgehammer has extra reach, maybe I'll be able to get those kills. Okay? So that's kind of the goal for today. Unlock the Sledgehammer, use the Sledgehammer, see what we could do with the Sledgehammer. All right? So, should be a good time. Now, outside of that, there's going to be many more channel wagers and the like. Some people have been saying that they want me to try a new weapon, but the thing is, out of all the weapons I've played in the game, this Krieg 6 weapon I've been using for weeks now, it really is the best one in my opinion. It's the best of all worlds. It has max damage, it's effective at range, but also up close. And I've unlocked all the attachments for it, so basically I have the best version of the gun. If I were to swap to a different weapon, I would probably dramatically reduce the amount of kills I can get, because I have to start from scratch. And in addition to that, since I don't have a secondary weapon because I'm using the knife, and now if I unlock it, I'm going to be using the Sledgehammer, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, it just doesn't seem to make much sense. But if there is a common recommendation of a gun that people absolutely want to see me try, I would do it. The problem is, sadly, I didn't realize this. There are 4 new guns in the game, but you can only get them if you buy the season pass, which I'm not going to do. You know, I'm not going to pay more money just to unlock a couple guns. I think that's really stupid. I didn't know that was the case. I thought that all the content for this game was supposed to be free, and apparently it's not the case. Only season pass holders will actually get the new weapons, which stinks. I was actually going to use a new weapon starting today, and then I found out it's not available. So I'm a little disappointed at that. So, you know, we'll see what happens today, if there's a common suggestion of a new weapon, but in general, I think I'm going to stick with what I got, since today's focus is going to be the Sledgehammer and doing silly kill streaks and things with the Sledgehammer. All right, we'll focus on that for today. Should be fun. By the way, a new map, Apocalypse, which appears to be based on the movie Apocalypse Now. And I tried it out when it released on Wednesday night. I didn't even know it was going to be released Wednesday night. I don't think anyone did, because they said it was going to be supposed to come out Thursday, but it actually came out early. It seemed all right, but it seems like it's definitely going to be, tricky, because it's one of those maps where there's just a lot of ways to pop out or go around corners. Like, there's a highway, a low way, there's a door, there's a window, there's a ladder, and they're everywhere. Like, every single area of the map is like that. It's not like you could just sit in a room and you're safe. It's like everywhere. There's always, you know, an opening where someone could be coming out. And again, like a lot of the maps in this game, it seems like it's going to lend itself to, you get a kill, immediately get killed from another direction. So we'll see. I only played on the map twice on Wednesday night, so I didn't get that far into really trying it out. But obviously today I will play more. We'll probably play on the map a bunch more. And also the Express map, which I actually like the Express map. That's the train station that was added a couple weeks ago. That's now been added to the standard rotation. So that'll be a normal map that'll be, you know, put into the mix. So I don't have to worry about having to add that to a playlist or whatever in order to play it. So we'll see how today goes. I'm excited. I am. Like I told you guys, I've been having a lot of fun with everything. And, you know, with this game in particular. And I'm definitely looking forward to more. All right? So, good stream today. Lots of interactivity. Lots of channel point wagering. It's going to be a good time. Okay? Tonight's late stream is going to be Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. This is the expansion or new mode for Super Mario 3D World that was added into the game when the game was just re-released a couple weeks ago. I've already beaten the story, technically. I've already beaten Bowser and completed it, but I've only seen like 2/3 of the content of the mode, because you only need 2/3 of the content of the mode to actually unlock the final boss fight and story. But I want to keep going. People last week, when I finished it, said, no, we absolutely want to see you continue with this. And so I said, if you guys wanted it, I would do another stream. So here it is. It's tonight. We'll be going through more puzzles, trying to get all the cat shines hidden in the game. I don't know if I'll be able to 100% it, but I'll give it an honest try tonight with 2 more hours of Bowser's Fury fun, okay? Tomorrow, Sunday, the main gameplay stream will be the continuation of Divinity Original Sin 2, my second major stream of the game this week. It looks like we'll be heading out of the tutorial area, at least it seems like that. Can't 100% confirm that, but it seems like we will be getting out of that general region of the game. And heading on to other content. I don't know. Last stream was crazy. Last stream, I kept stumbling upon random encounters that I wasn't expecting, where the enemies would get the drop on me and completely hurt my whole party, give them status ailments. And people were saying some of these were some of the hardest early game fights, but I won both of them. So that's good. And I'm excited to see what the game has to offer, moving forward. Since we are kind of still in the intro segment and I don't really know, where it's going. We're going to see tomorrow. All right, so another major stream of Divinity tomorrow for those who've been anticipating it. Tomorrow night, the late stream is going to be the conclusion of Immortals Fenyx Rising 2. Okay? Now, for those who don't know... Wait, Immortals Fenyx Rising 2? That's not what I meant to say. Just Immortals Fenyx Rising. I got the 2 stuck in my head from Divinity. Last week, I thought I was likely going to beat... this game. I pretty much was all the way up to the end. I got into the final dungeon. But then I couldn't beat it because I ran out of time. The final segment is very drawn out. You basically had to climb all the way up to King's Peak. There was a boss fight. Then it teleported you to Tartarus. Then there was a boss fight. And then actually, was there a second boss fight? Well, no, you were chasing a guy up the mountain. Then you had to go inside another dungeon. It seemed like it should have been the end of the game, but then there's like, oh no, here's a last-minute extra dungeon. And this dungeon implements all of the puzzle-solving mechanics that you've had to use in the entirety of the game so far. So, like, geez, really? Yes, really. So, we'll see what happens tomorrow night, but I should be able to wrap up the game. I'm in the middle of that dungeon. I figure the dungeon will probably take me another half hour, 45 minutes, maybe, the final boss fight, ending cutscene, and then we'll see if there's post-game stuff to do. I might do it. Like, for example, the Daedalus challenges. I've done every one of them but one because the fog or air was never lifted from the center of the map, so I could see the final Daedalus challenge. I could never find it. So maybe if I beat the game, then maybe that is revealed and we can do the final Daedalus challenge, and maybe there's like a trophy for it or something. I guess we'll see. So that'll be tomorrow night's late night stream. All right? Should be the conclusion of Immortals Fenyx Rising after 40+ hours of gameplay. Once again, people in the chat are all spamming about this jeans meme. I don't know what the jeans meme is. I don't even know how it became a thing, besides there's probably some trollish re-streamer who tried to make a running joke of it, and people are just so slow-witted and weak-minded that they think it's funny to just repeat the same thing ad nauseum, like most memes. Anyway, Monday, I'm doing another major stream of Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. I played this game the other day. It completely whooped my ass. Like, bent me over, took a paddle, beat the shit out of my butt cheeks. I could not even beat the first stage. This game is that difficult, alright? On Legend difficulty, this shit is no joke. But, I just found out that there's magic in the game. I didn't even know it existed. So, maybe if I utilize some magic, I'll actually be able to beat the first stage and move on to the second. Okay? I guess we'll see. So that's going to be Monday's major gameplay stream. Oh boy. Monday night, we're going to do some more Fall Guys. And this week should be interesting because they just added a new Cuphead skin. So apparently everyone's going to be running around as Cuphead. Including me if I can afford it. I think I might have enough crowns to buy it. And, we'll do our weekly elimination challenge style gameplay with a lot of channel points, wagering, etc. Usually it's a good time. Hopefully you'll join me for that Monday night. Okay? Then I'm off from streaming on Tuesday, okay? The following week will be a mix. Continuing on with Divinity. Also, continuing on with Super Mario 3D World post-game. We've actually gotten pretty damn far in the game. I don't know how many more worlds and stages there are left, but we're at the point where we might have to backtrack soon and try to finish every single stage with every single character to unlock the final post-game challenge. So I get the feeling there's going to probably be 1 to 2 more streams of Super Mario 3D World before we actually 100% complete it. Okay? So that's coming up. Alright? There's also going to be... excuse me. There's also going to be more Call of Duty. There's also going to be, you know, continuing on with all the playthroughs that I'm currently doing. All will be continuing this coming week, all right? Now, in addition to that, you guys have been nominating games, all right? And these games that you've been nominating are going to become a poll this coming week, all right? In fact, you have today and tomorrow, essentially, are their final 2 days, where you guys are going to be able to nominate games for the upcoming Viewer's Choice event. So, the Viewer's Choice event is very simple. Games are nominated and voted on, and the winner gets to be a full playthrough here on the streams, all right? Previous Viewer's Choice events have spawned many different franchises of games that I never would have touched previously, such as Persona, Danganronpa, Yakuza, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Super Mario Sunshine, Donkey Kong 64. Just to name a few. There's many, many more games that have been Viewer's Choice playthroughs over the years. But you see my point. Like, these are games and franchises that I hadn't really played before. That's right. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. That's another one. I missed out on these games, and you guys, you know, basically rallied to see me play them, and they turned out to be very awesome playthroughs, and in some cases ended up being entire franchises of games that I ended up playing in the long run. You know what I mean? And now they're the games that I play all the time when the new iterations come out. So, I'm excited to see what you guys have been nominating. And, of course, like I said, I'm going to make the poll sooner rather than later. Hopefully, I'm thinking maybe like Monday-ish on March 1st. I'll make the poll so you guys can actually start voting on what game will be the next Viewer's Choice playthrough. All right? So, we'll see how that goes. That's coming up. Also, please continue to submit questions for the upcoming episode of Ask the King. It's actually this week. That's right. This coming week is the next episode of my Q&A show, Ask the King. It's actually going to be on Thursday of this coming week. And the more questions that I get, the better. All right? The more questions that I get allow me to work on those questions. You know, screen them early, pick the best ones. If you wait till the last minute, meaning the day of that stream, sadly, I may not get to your question. If you post it up on Twitter or you post it up only in the stream chat, I may not actually get to actively review your question. But if you post it up early now, I will review every single one of those questions. All right? So, if you want to nominate games for Viewer's Choice, please type !Viewer's Choice into the stream chat. If you want to post up questions for Ask the King, please post up !Ask the King into the stream chat. All right? So, I'm excited for that. Both those things coming up this coming week, which should be great. All right? I'm trying to think if there's anything else coming up this particular first week of March. Off the top of my head, nothing is really like glaringly standing out as going to be this first week of March. Outside of the things I've already, mentioned here. I figure between Ghosts and Goblins, Divinity Original Sin 2, which are going to be the 2 major playthroughs I'm doing, balancing in Super Mario 3D World, and then every once in a while, for example, with Call of Duty, having that as a main gameplay stream, that's more than enough to get us through another week until, we get to newer stuff. Fair enough? Okay. Hopefully that all sounds good to all of you guys. Outside of that, is there anything else that I really want to bring up here on the stream? Not particularly. Everything seems to be going swimmingly. The streams have been great. The support recently has been outstanding. I really appreciate that, guys, because right now in the short term, I really need the extra help in order to not only afford all my normal stuff that I do around here, but also I'm trying to raise extra funds to pay my tax guy so that I can have him file my taxes, and I'm hoping to have that hopefully done by like the middle of March. Excuse me. And you guys have been very, very generous recently. Thanksgiving, wait a minute. Thanksgiving Ton T says, I said I would play Donkey Kong 64, but it's not eligible in the forum post. I already played it. That was actually the Viewer's Choice event from last year. 1 year ago, I was playing Donkey Kong 64 because it was a Viewer's Choice event. And I did a full-on 100% completionist playthrough of the game. I did every possible thing there was to do in the game. So, it's done. Stick a fork on that motherfucker. And by the way, that game stunk because it was so bad compared to other platformers at the time. I'm glad I played it for frame of reference, so now I know when everyone says Donkey Kong 64, I know what they're talking about. Pretty much the ultimate vomit-inducing collection quest game ever, right? But it's done. Okay, anyway. So anyway, yeah, I'm trying to just think, is there anything else that I want to mention before we move on? I'm just trying, oh, man. I do feel like there was something I wanted to talk about. But now it's eluding me. Like, what I wanted to talk about, it's completely eluding me. Yeah, I guess, you know, what they say is that if you can't remember something or if it's not on your mind, it must not be very important. Oh, Turtle Deuce says I wanted to talk about turtles. That's right, I wanted to talk about turtles today. I totally forgot about that. Turtles are so cool. Two Vines just used channel points. This is the first time they're ever doing it. Would I rather be Mormon or Amish? What? What? What are you talking? Oh my god, people are weird. Neither. I don't talk about religion. I don't even know the ins and outs of those religions. Why would I even talk about these? What are you talking about? All right, of course, here we go, people with their dumb shit and conspiracy theories and stuff. So let's just go ahead and ban this guy. Since, by the way, his name is a detractor meme anyway. Might as well just get him the fuck out of here. Dumb shit. Okay. Here, okay. Let's do it. Let me summarily answer a question. Hey, Phil, are you gonna talk about the increased amount of support you got this week and bring up all kinds of personal financial shit from behind the scenes? No! It's none of your fucking business, so get banned, stupid. Okay. Morons. Okay. So, I guess that's it. I guess we'll move on. Briefly, let's do a plug segment. Then we'll move into news. Quite frankly, there's not a lot of news to talk about. Just maybe one or two quick things I'd like to gloss over. And then we'll move on to your shoutouts, and we'll move on with the stream. Sound good? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator, and what that means is that I do not have any sponsorships with any company to shill or advertise a product and get paid for it. I also don't have any kind of connections to a streaming company to exclusively stream on any website and get paid a flat rate for doing so. Essentially, I am fully independent, and that means that I don't have to worry about what I say and do on a stream. I can be completely honest with you guys. I don't have to worry about a sponsor dropping me because of something that I said about a game or another topic. I don't have to worry about violating a non-disclosure agreement because I'm not playing any games early because I'm not some selected golden streamer who gets treated like some kind of a fucking celebrity and gets everything early. Instead, I'm just like you. I'm a normal guy playing games, having fun on the internet, and being as honest as I can be so that when I am doing my streams, you guys can trust me and know exactly what I'm talking about. That being said, I've been doing this for over 12 years, and the reason that I am successful and allowed to keep doing what I love for a living is because of you. Because you guys come out and you appreciate what I do and you support these streams. That's why I'm still here and I'm still able to do this the way that I do it. All right? Otherwise, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do this. All right? But I appreciate that you guys like what I do. You see how I am different from other content creators, and you do support my efforts to keep doing this. All right? So thank you for that. Like I've told you guys many times over the years, this is the best job I've ever had by a mile. You know, I am a lifelong gamer, and the fact that I get to game as my job is remarkable, and by the way, incredibly lucky. I'm here because of factors of luck as well as dedication as well as support from you. And I know that. And I'm grateful for that, and every day that I get up and I say, man, I get to go stream and do fun stuff today, I feel great. Like right now, I feel really genuinely great about being able to play Call of Duty with you guys today, unlocking this sledgehammer and doing silly stuff. This is going to be a fun, silly stream, and I can't wait. All right? So, thank you in advance to anyone who likes this content and wants to support it and supports the stream. Please know that contributions are not mandatory, nor are they expected on these streams. All right? It's basically, in my opinion, you guys showing that you want to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer and actually support the longevity of me being able to put out this kind of style of content. All right? And I appreciate that very much. I really am grateful. That's why I go out of my way every day to try to shout out every single contribution that comes in. Of course, there are some exceptions of people who come on here and try to contribute just to get attention and say something insulting or disgusting, and I'm going to ignore those people who are trying to derail the stream and do stupid shit. But in general, most people come out and are very positive and fun, and I really appreciate that. Thank you in advance to anyone who considers contributing. And by the way, I should say this, never feel like you should, what's the word? Never feel bad if you can't contribute. Never feel bad if you could only contribute a little. I get some people who come on here and feel bad and, oh, I wish I could contribute more. You don't have to ever feel like that, all right? The way that this works and always has worked is that, a bunch of people contribute very little, but it adds up and it helps me to keep doing what I do for a living. It's not about one or two people coming in and dropping a giant contribution. It's never been like that. And that's how it works. That's how crowdfunding works, okay? So thank you. And you should never feel bad if you can't contribute. That's not what it's about. My streams are free. Always will be. I do this because I love it. I'm a lifelong gamer. I did YouTube videos for 2.5 years before I ever monetized them. I only ever monetized my content because I lost my job. And here we are over a decade later, and I'm still going strong, which is crazy to think. But hey, it's the God's honest truth, and it's really awesome, and I'm happy to be able to do it. All right? Awesome. Now, let's talk a little bit. First of all, if you are a frequent stream viewer and or contributor, some things that I can recommend to help you out to make sure that you are safe and protected and not the victim of online harassment. Number one, whatever name you're using here on Twitch TV, make sure that it is a name that is diversified from your other information. For example, do not use your real life name. Do not use a name that you're already using for other accounts online, notably your social media accounts like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or whatever else it might be that you use. Make sure that people aren't able to associate this account on Twitch with other accounts on the internet. Reason being, there are people out there who are malicious. They will likely go after you other places if they don't like you for whatever reason. And if they can stalk you on another site and get away with it, they will. So you don't want them to have that ability to do that. Okay? That's number one. Number two, I strongly recommend you turn off direct messages here on Twitch. Sadly, people abuse these regularly. People who contribute find themselves constantly getting inboxes full of troll messages from assholes. Which is hilarious because a lot of the times they say directly to me. That's the reason why they feel more motivated to even support my streams, because obviously there's a bunch of shitheads who are telling them, oh, don't do that. And a lot of people have that mentality. When you get told not to do something, you're going to rally against what you're being told and do it anyway, you know? So, so it's counterproductive for their purposes anyway. But you don't want to be harassed by people online. So the way I have my Twitch set up is that only people on my friends list on Twitch can actually even send me a direct message, and I strongly recommend you set it up that way too, or just turn them off in general. They're really not used for anything productive. It's just online harassment at this point, okay? Alrighty then. Now, in addition to that, if you are considering tipping me today, which, by the way, tipping is a great way to support the channel. You know, you can cheer with bits, you can subscribe to the channel, you can gift a sub to this channel, or you can tip me. Those are all perfectly valid ways to support my Twitch channel, all right? But tipping is a particularly good way to support because, number one, those are funds that I can use right away for important things, right? Whether it's grocery shopping, buying supplies for Jasper, taking my wife out to a nice dinner once a week, which we get to do, or whether it's buying games for the streams, paying bills. In particular, like I told you guys, I'm currently trying to raise funds in order to pay my tax guy so he'll file my federal taxes. All these things come into play, okay? So, tipping helps with all of that, and I appreciate that. Now, in particular, we have rewards for hitting certain levels of tipping. If we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, I will put on a vest of your choice. Last night, we did hit the tips goal right away, and it was a double vest night. I ended up wearing a red vest on one side and a platinum vest on the other. Why did we do a double vest night? Because we doubled the tips goal, which was amazing. And again, thank you guys for that. So because of that, you know, we wore two vests at once. That's what I do if we double the tips goal. You guys could vote on two different vests. Now, here's the thing. We just wore both the platinum and the red vest. So that means today, the vest eligible would be beige, blue, camo, or gray. We're going to have some variety today rather than doing the same vests every single stream. All right. So please consider contributing. And if you do tip, you're tipping towards hitting those goals, which are celebratory rewards, all right? Now, if you're considering tipping, I strongly recommend you create a verified PayPal account in order to tip me. Why? Because I've been the victim of fraud in the last 6 months. A particular person was going on the internet and buying tons of stolen credit cards off of the dark web and then tipping me with them, which then led to tons of chargebacks, fees, and things that slammed my PayPal account and hurt my business. There were some days I was streaming that looked like I was doing incredibly well, and then all that money was taken away from me, and I actually lost money overall a few streaming days during the fall because of this fraud, all right? So all that being said, if you have a verified PayPal account, I know I can trust your tip. Reason being, a verified PayPal account needs your real-life information to verify your identity, whether that's your bank account or other information about you. It verifies you're real, and you're legally responsible if you try to commit fraud on that account. You know, PayPal can try to basically figure out why you did that and you know, have a real person to go after for committing fraud. Otherwise, if you don't get a verified tip, basically it puts me at monstrous risk. So please understand that I do need you guys to verify your PayPal accounts if you are going to tip me. By the way, a ton of people have done this in the last month, and it has helped tremendously. The streams end up being more smooth. I don't have to interrupt the stream to try to verify a tip because I know I can trust a lot of the contributions that are coming in. One other practice that we've just started doing, longtime supporters and regulars are tipping me and using code words. What that means is when you tip me, you know, you give me a message that you want me to shout out on the stream, but then you also give me a code word so I know it's really you. So that way I know, for example, it's not someone trying to impersonate you or do something in your name. It's actually the real you. And when I see those code words, I 100% know this is legit. And now I don't have to keep verifying a tip, you see? So it's all goes hand in hand, all right? And again, thank you guys for your support recently. I really do appreciate that. Thank you in advance to anyone who is considering contributing today via any method. But obviously the tipping is the preferred one, and thanks to those who've allowed me to hit, and in some cases even exceed, my tips goals recently. I really do appreciate that. Okay? Alrighty then. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so let us now continue. And let's move on from these gratuitous plugs, and let's move on to better stuff, all right? So in regards to gaming news right now, there's not much new news that happened overnight. What I have been seeing is a lot of mixed reactions to yesterday's Pokemon Direct event that happened yesterday morning. For those who are not in the know, a quick recap of the Pokemon Direct event. First of all, there's going to be remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Silver. Excuse me, Diamond and Pearl. I have no idea why I said Silver. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl coming out hopefully in the fall. There was no direct release date given, but they said 2021, so we're hoping it's going to be out in the fall. It's basically just direct ports of the games, but it's going to have modernized graphics. However, a big thing of contention here is that people are saying that these games don't look good enough. And the reason that they're drawing this criticism, all right, is because if you take a look at other recent remake games that have come out of Nintendo, for example, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, which I played a couple years ago, and I thought it was an outstanding game. I had never played it before. It was originally a Game Boy game, and then they ported it to modern consoles. The game's graphics are gorgeous, right? Really awesome 3D graphics, lighting, you know, everything looks modernized in that game. The gameplay is retro, but the game itself looks new and modern, okay? So I really enjoyed that playthrough. So here we are 2 years later, and a remake is coming out with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and people are looking at it and like, wow, what happened here? Because if you directly compare it to a game that came out multiple years ago, why does the game that came out years ago look so much better? Now, for me, I never played the original games, all right? So, for me, I'm not going to stand here and criticize this because I have nothing to compare it to. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no... The only thing you can say is, yes, if you directly compare Zelda Link's Awakening to these remakes, yeah, Link's Awakening looks light years better graphically. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to translate into it being a bad remake. I think a lot of people are just very critical of what the Pokemon Company and Game Freak pumps out. And in this case, this port apparently is not being made directly by Game Freak. They actually outsourced the work for this remake to another company. And I think a lot of people are criticizing it and saying that might be why the game doesn't look very good. You know, that's why the game is not up to snuff with maybe Nintendo standards even. Maybe not. I don't know. For me, here's the thing. I'm excited because I never played these older Pokemon games. I only played Pokemon Blue, and then over the years, I played all the Pokemon games that have come out since I've been a content creator. So I played Pokemon Ruby. I played, what was the other one? Moon? Was it Pokemon Moon? Sun and Moon? I played Moon. And then recently, I've played Pokemon Sword and Shield and its DLCs. So I played the last 3 Pokemon games that were available, but I never played the classics. So for me, to be able to go back and actually experience these classics again, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not looking for top tier graphics or things like that, but I think I may be the exception to the rule. If you're someone who actually is a lifelong fan of Pokemon, and you already played these games back in the day, and you're saying, oh, I'm going to drop, $50, $60 for these remakes, I want top-notch graphics. So if that's your case, then I guess I can see from your perspective, and I can understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to discredit your valid criticisms of this remake. But for me, I'm just pumped that this is coming out. I really am. I'm just pumped it's coming out. I'm excited to play this game when it comes out later this year and experience a Pokemon game with you guys that I never played before. Okay? So, I'm not giving them a free pass. And I'll be honest with you, yes, I kind of agree with you guys. If you're going to pay a full price for a game like this, you should get modernized performance. But maybe, you know what it is? Here's the truth of the matter, I feel, when it comes to my rationale. I don't really care how Pokemon game looks. You know? Like, when I played Pokemon Blue back on the freaking Game Boy, it looked like shit. I was playing other games on consoles that were light years ahead of what I was playing on a handheld, and I didn't care because the gameplay was good. It was really the gameplay loop of the game that was the hook of the game, certainly not the graphics on the Game Boy. So I've never equated Pokemon as like a next-gen franchise with groundbreaking graphics and shit. It's always to me been like, it's going to be kind of like downplayed, more blasé graphics, but you're going to get that cool gameplay loop you're looking for. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what it is in my mind, that I never really cared about the graphics of Pokemon. Okay? Now, also during this Pokemon Direct, it was specifically about Pokemon, they announced an open world prequel game, supposed to be the earliest Pokemon game ever, where it's supposed to be like feudal times, and you're roaming an open world, and Pokemon exist, and you're trying to actually open world catch Pokemon and fight with Pokemon in the wild. The game actually has an active dodge button for your character, your trainer. This has never been done in a Pokemon game before. It's always just been turn-based, slow-paced combat with random encounters, and apparently they're going in a completely different direction with this game. I think it's called like Pokemon Legends Arcana or something like that. So it's just Arcana. I don't know exactly the name of it, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's not coming out supposedly till next year. But people were shocked that the game is going in a completely different direction than the standard turn-based Pokemon stuff. But immediately, people started making connections between this game and Breath of the Wild, saying, isn't it interesting that, Breath of the Wild did so good, and now all of a sudden within like a 2-year time frame, we have all these games coming out that play like Breath of the Wild. Genshin Impact. I'm still playing and about to finish Immortals Phoenix Rising. This next Pokemon game. And then there's a new meme on the internet that every single game looks like Breath of the Wild. Every game is Breath of the Wild. Because they're all this, I'm like, okay. But, I don't know, like, to me, I like the fact that they're taking Pokemon in a new direction. Despite the fact that maybe this actually was spurned because there already were other companies making knockoff Pokemon games that were playing like this. Like, for example, isn't there that MMO, Pokemon MMO, that's very similar to this formula where it's open world roaming and everything. And a lot of people were actually playing that game and praising it. And it may be because of the success of that game that now they've decided to take mainstream Pokemon in that direction. Okay? I don't know. I guess we'll see, but I'm excited because it's called Temtem. That's right, 100 Gex, Temtem. That was the game that maybe have inspired this move by Pokemon. For me, Pokemon has always been the same kind of a deal. You know it's going to be slow, world exploring, turn-based combat. You know exactly what to expect when it comes to Pokemon, with very few variables. I mean, yeah, there's Dynamaxing now, and there's this and that. But in reality, there haven't been that many changes or variables to the formula. It's pretty much almost exactly the same thing every time you play a Pokemon game, right? Well, this one might actually mix things up for a bit. And that's exciting to me. Taking something that's already popular and now doing something different with it, okay? But, of course, people are, again, being critical. Wow, look how this game looks exactly like another game, and it looks like they've copied. What's weird about this is I swear there used to be the opposite, where people would get so ultra hyped for Pokemon stuff, and now every single time something with Pokemon comes out, people just, like, tear it a new butthole, right? It's like, damn, they really are critical. And maybe it's just because it's such a long-running series that's made so much money for Nintendo that people expect greatness from it. But the funny part about all of this that I have to call out is despite the fact that there's so much criticism of Pokemon and always saying that it's not good enough, these games always sell a ridiculous amount. Sword and Shield sold insane amounts of copies, including the DLCs. So despite the fact that everyone said, the game looks like shit or whatever, everyone bought it anyway. So even though they sat there and whined on the internet about it, they went out and purchased it. And, so I don't understand the point. Here's the thing. I've always said this, and I'll say it again. Criticism, valid criticism, is good. Because when you criticize something, there's always potential for improvement. That means the company will always strive to do better. If you just kiss a company's butt, right, they will never strive to do anything better. They'll just keep putting out the same crap every single year. And how many franchises do we see that every year they have a new iteration of a game? It feels like you're playing the same game. You paid $60 for the same goddamn game a year after year after year, right? So if anything, valid criticism can create a demand to do better and make these game companies innovate and improve. So I get it, but at the same time, criticism doesn't really have validity if then you go out and you buy the thing you criticized and said wasn't good enough. And that's what seems to happen with Pokemon. Everyone criticizes them and then buys them anyway. So it's funny hearing all this criticism of the Pokemon Direct over the last 24 hours, so much of it on social media, and these people are going to go buy it anyway. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it. For me, I'm excited for both games. I definitely want to play Diamond and Pearl Remake. I don't know which one I'll play, but I want to play it because I never played the older Pokemon games. This is an opportunity for me to actually get that kind of experience under my belt. And I love the Pokemon games because they're chill. We can have a lot of fun, a lot of interaction during those streams. I can try to fill the Pokedex like we did with the last one. It's fun as hell to play these games. So I'm excited for that. And then, whatever this new one is next year is going to be innovative and different, and I'm excited for that too. Okay, so that's my take on it. Outside of that, I don't really think there's much else gaming news going on, unless you guys know of any gaming news that happened in the last 24 hours that I missed. I haven't really seen much at all in the realm of gaming news. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get to shoutouts here, unless someone wants to bring up a news article I missed or something. Here we go. So let's do some shoutouts. Let's see. Okay. So overnight, I received a subscription from Mahuhobo. Thank you to Mahuhobo for an overnight sub. I appreciate that. Amazing GT23 also resubscribed overnight for 32 straight months. Thank you so much for 32 months of support, Amazing GT. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend, by the way. Haven't seen you around in a little bit. So Golden Colts got the cheering started overnight, by the way, with a few cheers. First cheer, he says, Taco Bell will be debuting a new crispy chicken sandwich taco. Sandwich taco. All right. He says, it's a creative concoction, an all-white meat piece of chicken marinated in jalapeno buttermilk, then fried with a crunchy tortilla chip coating, served in a puffy bread that's shaped as a taco. It's then topped with creamy chipotle sauce and being given a limited release in March with a nationwide rollout a few weeks later. It might be a good item for a DSP tries it. It might be. That sounds interesting. At the very least, that sounds like something different that may be exciting to try. Thing is, I don't know when I would do another DSP tries it. We don't have any marathons or events coming up, actually. We're kind of all marathoned out after doing Christmas marathon, and then there was the retrospective. We're not scheduled for another like event like that where I would do a DSP tries it for a while. So actually, I don't know when I would get to that. During Ask the King would not work. Joff Bozos, because Ask the King is this Thursday, and as Golden Coach just said, this taco is not going to be nationwide until later on in March. So it's probably not going to be here and available for purchase until later on. Sticky Dick says McDonald's has now begun selling their own chicken sandwich that's a blatant copycat of a Chick-fil-A. Not shocking. Everyone's done this, right? Everyone wants to have their own signature chicken sandwich. After the shocking success of Popeye's chicken sandwich about 2 years ago, now everyone wants to jump on that bandwagon. So this is not surprising to me. Okay. Golden Colt shoot again. He said, what do you think about asparagus? By itself, I don't like asparagus. Like, I wouldn't eat asparagus plain. If you have asparagus with something, or if you have asparagus prepared a certain way, like I used to have, when I used to live in Connecticut and I had roommates, one of my roommates had a recipe that they used to prepare asparagus in a Cajun style. Very, very, like a spicy Cajun seasoning. It was really good. Like, I thought it was exceptionally good. And it was a way to eat something that otherwise I didn't like the flavor, but it made it taste great. So, I would say asparagus is good when prepared a certain way. Much like many vegetables. They're not very flavorful by themselves, but added in with other things, they could be great. Okay? Golden Cold shoot again. He said, oh my god, he's drinking gin. All right, I am not drinking gin. I'm having just filtered water today. Fantasy Star PG also cheered. A few cheers here. So let's get through there. First one, he says, I saw Google is closing its first-party Stadia studios, even the ones that were independent before being owned by Google. I don't see why Google didn't sell the studios to make some money back and let people keep their jobs, because they don't care. Google doesn't care. Google has so much money. You guys have to understand that when you're exorbitantly rich, you just throw money at the wall, and sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't, and the money that falls, you just don't care. They didn't care. When they fucking started with all these initiatives, they didn't give two shits if it made money or not. They were hoping there would be a big breakout, but it didn't take off. Now, the funny thing about this, there's a big news story about this last week. I don't know if you guys heard about this. One of the games that Google's studios actually made, because they bought the studio that made this game, Journey to the Savage Planet, okay? This game apparently is pretty good. People like it, but because they now have shut down all of their gaming studios, there's no one to fix the game, and apparently the game right now is rife with bugs, and some people can't even, like, play it past, like, a couple of minutes, and there's no one to fix it. People have submitted help requests and everything, and basically the game studio that made the game, as well as Google, both come back to them and say, we have no one to fix this game, so you're shit out of luck. They actually laid off people who were supposed to actively being supportive of a new game, and there's no one there anymore. They laid everyone off. But that's the thing, like, Google doesn't care. Google does not care about the stuff that they do. Think about Google Glass, right? Remember Google Glass, how it was heavily promoted, everyone was talking about it for 6 months, and then no one ever talked about it ever again? Because it came to market, it was incredibly expensive, everyone thought it was a waste of time, piece of junk. And that was millions and millions and millions of dollars invested into Google Glass that was completely just thrown away. Here's another one, Google Stadia. This thing is never going to take off. Google Stadia is never going to take off. They don't care. They're so filthy rich, rolling in dough. YouTube. How many years YouTube not turning a profit? And it's, you know, the biggest video sharing website on the internet can't turn a proper profit. They don't care. They're too rich. So, this is not shocking to me at all. Fantasy Star PG cheered again. He said, I was able to pick a Series X. I can tell you, he bought a Series X. He says, after you unbox it, it'll make for a boring setup video since the dashboard is the same as Xbox One. I did hear that. I heard that basically if you have an Xbox One, you know what the Xbox Series X is like because they use the same exact dashboard layout. That's why when the Series X released, there was a big update for Xbox One as well. And basically it makes them identical. That's, you know, that, it's an interesting design choice to say the least. to say the least. Because don't you want it feeling fresh and new? Why would you have it so if you have the old console, it's the same, right? Like PlayStation 5, the moment you boot it up, it feels like you have a fresh new experience. The dashboard is different. You have to learn a few things on the fly, but the dashboard feels cool. It moves around, nicer, faster than PS4 dashboard. And, what I like about it is that you really don't need themes anymore because every game kind of has its own background theme already pre-installed when you play the game. So unlike having like a dedicated theme like you needed on PS4, now you just highlight a game and you get music from the game, you get a picture from the game. It feels like you have endless themes depending on what is currently installed on your console. I like that. And of course the speed and everything. If it was identical to PS4, I don't think it would be nearly as refreshing of an experience. So that's kind of weird to me. All right, so now all the other contributions I'm about to shout out actually are currently from this stream, okay? So, Latrono subscribed to the channel for 3 months. Hold on a second here. Snow Carl cheered, said something very, very silly and stupid. I'm not going to read it. I've already addressed this, by the way. Gabriel KO subscribed for 43 months. Thank you for 43 months of ongoing support, Gabriel KO. I really appreciate that. Mythical did a 50-bit cheers. If you're going to burp and fart in our faces, please be polite. All right, fair enough. Kenshi Fitmore did 2 cheers. First one, he said you should consider Valheim. A really fun survival game. It runs on a toaster or a lemon PC like yours. Then he cheered again, said you should try a no-salt run today. Like when you get shot, you should say, good play, my friend. Instead of blaming lag or something, just challenge yourself to be positive. Well, we'll see what happens. Like that'll ever happen. Let's see here. I might have received a tip, but I'm not familiar with the name, so I just want to take a look at the tip before I shout it out. Let's see here. All right, it is showing up. Let's see here. It's real. All right, I received a $1.30 tip from Batty. And they ask, can you rate Call of Duty games from worst to best? Worst, I would still think to this day, okay, I still feel that Ghosts is the worst one. Out of all the ones that I've played in the 12 now years that I've been doing YouTube videos and every year playing Call of Duty, I still think Call of Duty Ghosts is one of the worst, if not the worst Call of Duty game. It was sluggish. The map design was god-awful. It just wasn't even fun to play. It really didn't feel like Call of Duty at all. It felt like you were playing a different franchise. I hated that one. Recently, I absolutely hated Modern Warfare. I really feel that game, again, it's the animations are too complex and the game runs on an engine that's so sluggish that it doesn't feel like it's Call of Duty. It's not fast-paced at all, and I don't like that. I want a fast-paced Call of Duty, run-and-gun gameplay. That's what this game, Black Ops Cold War, feels like. Modern Warfare didn't feel like that to me, all right? If you're going to talk about the best Call of Duties ever, the original Call of Duty 1 was amazing, but Call of Duty 2 actively improved upon it and made it much better. Then I would say also Modern Warfare 1 was outstanding, and of course, Modern Warfare 2 I love. So I would say those games are the best. Out of all those, if I had to pick the best one ever, probably Call of Duty 2. As old as that game was, at that point, Call of Duty 2 was the best in-class shooter out there. It really was. It was 100% the best first-person shooter on the market when it was released. Then I would say probably Modern Warfare is second best. Those would be my 2 picks. So there you go. Worthless and Stupid did a 500-bit cheer and said, well, hold on, let me get them up on the leaderboard. I forgot to update the cheerers here. Let me get this up here. What a name. They say, when the stars come out at night, do you look up at them knowing that I'm looking at the same stars than you? It's a connection? No, I'm not that deep of a person. Pundles subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Pundles, for the subscription. Snow Carl Cheers says, do you think it's time to end the suffering of Pokemon and take it out back and shoot it? All the new Pokemon games look ridiculous and not innovative. No, I like Pokemon. In particular, these Pokemon games are now fitting my style of variety streaming because they're a lot more chill than other games that I play. They allow me to have more interactive streams with you guys, and I really enjoy Pokemon, so no. It's kind of the opposite for me because I haven't played Pokemon for 20 years like many of you. I played the original Pokemon game, then I literally didn't touch Pokemon again until Ruby. The Ruby remake, by the way. So I missed out on all that time when you guys are saying, oh, it feels like the same game. And I'm playing these games for the first time and really enjoying them. So I have a unique perspective. Mythical Cheers says, my code... I'm not saying that. How dare you? Timbo Slice, he's joking about his code, but he said something stupid. Timbo Slice Cheers says, to kick off Pokemon's 25th anniversary year, they're holding a virtual Pokemon concert tonight at 4 p.m. with the singer Post Malone. Will you be watching? I know I will be. No. By the way, is Post Malone actually a singer? I don't know. I've never heard a single piece of his music. So I don't know if he's a rapper, a singer, an R&B. Like, I don't know what he's considered. I've never heard. I know the guy looks weird. He had tattoos all over his face, right? But outside of that, I don't know a single thing about the guy. He actually sings. Is he good? Is he a good singer? What would you compare him to? What would you say he sounds like? I'm not being judgmental. Like I say, I'm wondering. Like I said, I hear about him on social media all the time. I've never heard a single note out of him. Worse than Drake. Worse than Drake. He makes decent radio music. He's really good. Some people are actually saying he's really good. He's one of my favorites right now. He's a mumble rapper. I wonder if I've heard any of his music. What are some of his popular songs? I'm curious. Total Score Cheers said, would you show your house if MTV Cribs paid me? No, I would not do that. Rockstar and Circles? I don't know what those are, so I guess I've never heard this guy. I guess I've never heard his music. I don't know what those are at all. Alright, I guess we'll continue on. I'm just out of touch with the young kiddies. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Toxic Tex did a 1,000-bit cheer to become the biggest cheer of the day so far. Welcome back, Toxic Tex, who again has made an active effort to be the top cheerer of every single stream this week and has actually succeeded in doing that so far. So thank you, Toxic Tex. By the way, last night we got a new top tipper of the year. The top tip of the year was last night, $200 from Jax Raxer. Biggest tip of the year so far, which was very much appreciated, obviously. And that's awesome. Now I can track it again. So, biggest tip of the year, Jax Raxer. Thank you, Jax Raxer, for the support last night. Danger Close. Cheering is Wendy's is coming to the UK. Which menu item do you recommend? I really like their spicy chicken sandwich. It's a huge piece of chicken that's always juicy. The breading has a really good seasoning built into it. And it really complements like the veggies and the mayo and everything. It kind of cools down the spice of the sandwich. I think it's one of the best things they have. Some people will argue they love their burgers because at least in the United States, their burgers are fresh, meaning they don't freeze, their beef. Their beef is only refrigerated. So you know when you get a burger there, you're getting a fresh burger because they didn't freeze the beef. So I like their burgers, but I particularly like their spicy chicken sandwich. There you go. Two Bar King has resubscribed for a whopping 49 months at tier 2. Thank you, Two Bar King, for that. I really appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you. Eternal Napalm cheered and said, I didn't nominate or vote for it, but I'm curious if you're excited to dig more into Divinity Original Sin 2. Are you excited for the next 10 months? What do you think of it so far? First of all, it's definitely different. It's slow moving. It's very slow moving. Let's be honest here. I've played it for 6 hours and we're still in the first area. But it seems like it's going to be quite challenging until I get my characters leveled up and get good abilities and stuff. Because right now, it seems like everyone's like their starter stuff, and some stuff's good and some stuff not so good. I get the feeling once these characters get better, that the game will open. Much like, I would say this, much like Fire Emblem Three Houses, it seems like once you get your characters, evolving to what you want them to be, then the game ends up being better, you see? So that's my take on it. Elon Just Judy says, why do all big donators hide their names? Why do big supporters of the channel never talk in chat or want the rest of the community to thank them? Elon Jusk, you know the answer. You're being a troll. So you better watch yourself. But the truth is, that the big contributors get harassed by trolls on the internet. It's stupid. People go after them for supporting me. It's dumb as shit. So they try their best to hide, you know, their real life information, hide their identities, and they try not to talk too much with people in the chat because then people come and harass them. That's why. It's that simple. They don't want to be harassed in real life for fucking supporting a streamer. It's insane that people would do that. You know, you have to be not in your right mind to do that anyway. But people do it. So stop asking stupid questions. Timbo Slice Cheers says Series X dashboard and Xbox One looks the same because it's been a thing with Microsoft for the last couple of years. All of their products have the same look. Xbox app looks just like the dashboard, and Windows 10 also has tiles like the Xbox. It's called a company-wide look. Vergatoto did a 1,000-bit cheer. Thank you. Listen to this. He wants to know what happened to License for Soul. Well, License for Soul, as you guys know, was publicly violating the rules here and publicly trying to annoy me and got moderated because of it. And that's where it ends for you guys. That's all you need to know. If anything else ever happens with License for Soul in the future, it's none of anyone's business. It's not anyone's business to be asking about the current status of someone who violated the rules and got moderated appropriately. So, don't ask. But thank you for the cheer. Another Day on the Terrace has cheered and said, what's your number one company you would own forever if you started investing? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't invest. I've never had opportunity in my life to invest. All my money always has to go somewhere. I never have excess money to invest in shit. I wish I did, but it's never happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for shoutouts. Let us now do shoutouts to the top cheerers of the week so far. In 10th place, Awesomeness Kaboom. In 9th place, Total Score. 8th place goes to Snow Carl. 7th place, Random Game Roulette. 6th place, That Anonymous. 5th place, Vergatoto. 4th place, Timbo Slice. 3rd place, Sambuca 2020. 2nd place, Pool King. And in 1st place, Toxic Tex. By a large margin, because as I said, Toxic Tex has attempted to be the top cheerer of every stream and so far has held that title. Although technically right now Toxic Tex is tied with Vergatoto for 1,000-bit cheer, he actually did it first and therefore is considered the top cheerer of the stream. Also, shout out to those who gifted subscriptions to the channel so far this week. We got D-Man11 and Timbo Slice, who each gifted a single sub. We got Kate, who gifted 2 subs, and Madrek1, who did a 5-sub drop the other day. Thank you guys for that channel support. Timbo Slice just curious, will you accept donations in Bitcoins? No. I'm not messing with microcurrency. The thing is, it's so volatile, and at the same time, I don't even know what the implications would be for things such as taxes and stuff. I'm sure that it's probably something crazy or different that I'm not aware of, and I don't want to fuck with that. Listen, my financial situation is complex enough. I don't need adding in another variable that could somehow potentially screw me over. I just don't. I'm not messing with that. Okay? Now Timbo Slice says, 1 Bitcoin's worth near 50K right now. I don't care. Another Day on the Terrace cheered. And let's see here. How mad would Kat be if her employer forced her to get the COVID vaccine? She would not be angry at all. She wants the COVID vaccine because she has to have in-person interactions with the public on a daily basis. That's her job. So when you have to have in-person interaction with people every day, you want to be vaccinated because you don't know if you can trust people to do the right thing and mask up and wash their hands and use sanitizer and not be coughing and spreading the virus. So she wants it as soon as possible. We don't know when she's going to be able to get it. We're waiting on word for that. You know, she keeps being told, yes, it's going to come, it's going to come. But right now here in Washington State, we haven't even fully vaccinated the first group of people yet. The first group of people who were supposed to get vaccinated, it's 2 months into the year, they haven't gotten their second doses yet to fully vaccinate them. So the most at-risk people aren't protected yet, so no one else is getting it. This whole country is behind the 8 ball when it comes to this. It's a fucking mess. Posh Ganache has done a 1200-bit cheer and has become the top cheerer of the stream. Thank you, Posh Ganache. Let's get Posh Ganache up there on the leaderboard. Thank you very much. Big Old Bean says, I'm scared to get the vaccination. I don't think you should be. If you take a look at the side effects, yeah, some of them could be bad, but it's basically just you're going to get a little sick. No one has really had an insanely bad situation where, like, oh my god, I died from the vaccine or anything like that. I think that the risk-reward ratio is way leaned towards reward. Is there a risk? There's always a risk. But the rewards are going to pay off if the vaccine works. You know what I'm saying? Another day on the terrace this year said Johnson & Johnson had their vaccine approved. When am I getting it? I'm probably getting it last. I told you guys, like, for me, I don't have to have any in-person interactions at all. Any in-person interactions I have are optional. So, since I get to work from home and I don't have to have required in-person interactions, likely I'll be the last person qualified to get the vaccine, and they probably won't let me get it until, like, I would think, earliest they'll even allow me to get it is end of this year. That's my guess. That's how slowly this thing's being rolled out in the U.S. I bet I won't even be able to get it till the end of 2021. If then. Maybe next year. The thing is, I want it as soon as possible, but I doubt I'm going to get it. Timble Slice cheered and said, did you see the U.S. government is looking into why PS5 and Series X shortages happened? It's crazy they're doing that. I'm sure it's to benefit them in some way. Yeah, what they're looking into is what happened, because the reason that there really are such shortages is because they're saying there was manufacturing issues with superconductors or semiconductors or something like that. And they're looking into how this happened, because they're like, it shouldn't have happened. It's something that was not expected. And so I guess they are trying to figure this out. I don't know why specifically this, you know, they're doing this. I'm curious what the reason is. But yeah, I saw the news story too. All right, Toxic Text now did a 3,000-bit cheer to become the top cheerer of the day again. So Posh Ganache, just as quickly as you unseated Toxic Text, he reseated himself. So I hope that you weren't planning on keeping that seat too warm, because he just gave you Das Boot. And he is now the top cheerer. Again, thank you, Toxic Text, for that. Timble Slice Cheers says, I get my first dose of COVID in 2 weeks here in vaccine. You mean the COVID vaccine, I hope, and not COVID. Come on, man. You gotta be careful with your wording here. You're not getting your first dose of the virus. You're getting your first dose of the vaccine. So he says, we're at stage 3 for people, including frontline workers like store people and teachers and high-risk people. That's good for you. You're way ahead of the curve. Seriously. You're way ahead of... Can you believe Washington State? We have been in lockdown more often than not. We've been one of the most conservative states when it comes to the way we're handling the virus. And we haven't even finished phase 1 of the vaccine yet. So, it's being botched for sure. Knives says, I just got my vaccine on Thursday. I felt fatigued for 24 hours, but that's it. Yeah, my parents also were supposed to be getting the vaccine this week. They told me that they were going this week to get it, which is good. I want them to get it as soon as possible. They're both highly at risk. They both have pre-existing conditions, and they're up there in age, and they need to get this thing ASAP. So I'm happy to hear they're finally going to get it. But I'm good to hear that you didn't have any bad side effects. Let's see here. Vergatoto did a 50-bit cheer and says, my dad told me other countries got more stimulus money because that way their worth goes down and the dollar big might be worth the most moving forward. Is this true? What happened to the sentence? Let's read that again. Other countries got more stimulus money because that way their worth goes down and the dollar big might be worth the most moving forward. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah. Vergatoto, I really wish I could respond to what you said. I have no idea what that means. I think there's a few words that are either incorrect or missing from that statement. Yikes. It's like the sentence was going well and then something fell apart. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. Biggest Kobe fan 24 did a 3,333-bit cheer. That's the biggest cheer of the day, so let's get biggest Kobe fan up on the leaderboard. Thank you, biggest Kobe fan, for the very generous cheer. I appreciate that very much. Wow, a lot of cheering going on today. I guess there's a little bit of a contest. Frog in a Party Hat has subscribed. Thank you, Frog in a Party Hat, for the sub. Oh, wait a minute. Toxic Text just did a 5,000-bit cheer. Holy shit. Well, I guess Toxic Text is the top cheerer again. I think Toxic Text is very, very, very adamant. Very adamant on keeping the top cheering spot. Because that was a ginormous cheer. So thank you, Toxic Text, for the 5,000-bit cheer. Once again, the top cheerer of the day. Alright. It looks like that's going to be about it. I don't see anything else. So thank you guys for supportive pre-stream. Of course, we only have $1 tip, but the cheers have been outstanding. Reminder, guys, tipping rewards. You know, Gunner glasses at $50, vest at $100. If we double the tips goal today, 2 vests. Obviously, tips are gonna help me in the short term with the situations, everything going behind the scenes. So if you could tip me today, please do by all means. But I appreciate all contributions. Thank you in advance. All right. All right. I think it's time to take a break. Wow. Sanji Pika says, someone drop 100,000 bits so Toxic has to one-up that. I don't think anyone's going to be doing that. And I think Toxic would crap his pants if that happened too. He'd be pretty upset after all the investment and time he's put in this week staying top cheerer every stream. He'd probably be pretty angry if someone did that. Just saying. So here we go. Yeah, Romy Rose says maybe we should do. Will Phil unlock the Sledgehammer in the first match as a wager? We could. In fact, I think that's what we should do. In the very first match today, can I get that knife double kill and unlock the Sledgehammer? I'm gonna try. So I think that's what we should maybe do as the first wager today. All right, Alfred Aponte has tipped me $3.30. It says, hello, Phil. Good to see you. Good. Hope you're good. I saw yesterday you had double vest. Take care of your health, my dude. Thank you very much, Alfred Aponte. Yes, yesterday was a very supportive day where I wore double vests on the late stream, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Alfred, for the biggest tip of the day so far, $3.30. Let's get you on the leaderboard. Okay. And that jumps us up to $4 in total tips. Vergatoto just did a 5,550-bit cheer and says, Lucifer Soul told me to give you this. So what's funny is now we actually don't know if any one of these people actually is Lucifer Soul or not. I think people are just kind of, conspiracy theorists. And they're thinking that every single person who's a big cheerer is Lucifer Soul. So, Vergatoto, thank you for that. You're now the biggest cheerer of the day. You've unseated Toxic Tex. So, Timbo Slice also cheered. So, wait a minute. The Gove pass. 1,400 stimulus bill. If the Senate passes it, we're all rich. We're all rich, he says. Yeah, the government's working on finally getting the stimulus bill passed. But, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a break. I recommend during this break, you grab a drink, a snack, use the restroom, whatever you need to do. I'll be using the restroom. When we come back, it's time to start up a Call of Duty. And yes, I think the first channel points wager will be, can I unlock the Sledgehammer in the first match? Okay, guys. I will see you all after the break. Thanks for supporting pre-stream. See you in a few.